Hi, my name is Taylor Moses, and today we're going to be talking about stakeholders. So, stakeholder relationships are professional connections that businesses form with people or different groups who have an interest in their activities or decisions. Different stakeholders could include internal and external. So, internal stakeholders include employees, managers, owners. External stakeholders include customers, shareholders, government, suppliers. And so within these stakeholders, there's different levels of power that each have. So the first is high power and high interest, which is the highest form of a stakeholder. They're involved in all of the decision making and play a big role within the business and organization. They have a big impact. The second is high power and less interest. This one is still important but has a slightly less role than the high power and high interest. They are still involved in the decision making, but they're not as involved in the day to day stuff. They don't need constant updates or um, just knowing what's going on 24/7. The next is a low power and high interest. These guys, they want to know when there's updates, but they do not have any decision making power. However, they do still provide suggestions when necessary and when there are new updates to be given to them. The last is low power and less interest. These are the bottom stakeholders. They really don't have much interest within the business. They don't have any decision making power. However, they can help when necessary, but genuinely, they really just don't have a important role within the company. The next is just discussing how stakeholders play an important role within negotiation and how that correlates. So, negotiation obviously is a major tactic that we use on the day to day within business. There's different forms that we've discussed, integrative and distributive, and those were all important. But in order to implement negotiation within stakeholders, there are obviously a lot of methods within that. Within stakeholders, there's different areas in which certain stakeholders are more interested in the business, whereas some are not. And negotiation provides us with a platform that is able to help persuade certain stakeholders to get on board with our activities, our goals, our process. The last is conflict management, and conflict management can also play an important role within stakeholders. Obviously, stakeholders, there can be certain conflict that is involved within that. But in order to like effectively manage stakeholders, there tends to be somewhat of conflict involved because not all stakeholders are perfect for the company, and some may, want to be involved in the company, but the company may not think that they're as valuable to the company as they would like. So there can be conflict that is involved in that, and there has to be conflict management in order to resolve that and best handle that in the smoothest and most effective form. So, stakeholders play an important role within every company, every organization. There's obviously different levels of each stakeholder and the roles that they play. And so, just being aware of all of those roles, as well as the effects negotiation and conflict management can have, is really important to understand when identifying who shareholders are, or stakeholders are, excuse me, and what kind of a role that they play within an organization or business.